Okay. So as Afsal just mentioned about the 5 levels in Azure DevOps, that is Azure Fundamentals, Azure Admin, DevOps, Terraform, and Solution Architect. So these are the different levels we have. So first we'll start with this Azure AZ 900. This is nothing but a foundation kind of thing. Okay, basics or fundamental we can call it. Okay. So here, why we are all moving towards cloud basically? Anybody can answer?
Cost saving,
Yes.
and by sitting anywhere in world you can access if you have internet connection,
Perfect.
and the security is there, and no upfront investment.
Perfect, perfect. So what Shekhar mentioned, all 3 points are very much valid, and it is that is a main reason for companies to move forward towards the cloud services nowadays. Okay, earlier it was all on-prem infrastructure. Now it is completely moving towards the cloud. So from COVID period, right? It has started moving from then because all work from home concept came. So this kind of managing the hardware and infra, it was very challenging, and cost, all those things came into picture. So everyone started moving towards the cloud services. What is the main advantage? Like economy, price, right? So earlier, generally for the on-prem infra, we need to invest upfront. We need to buy the server. We need to get approvals from different levels, and setting up, maintaining, all those things will be a cost to the company. And so those things can be controlled or cut down using this cloud forms, this cloud platforms, right? So generally these are like pay and use kind of service. Like for example, our development engineers or devs we call it, right? Those guys will work from morning 9 to 10 or 9 to 6 or something in the evening, right? So some after post that, they will go home. The servers will not be used, right? Dev servers. So if it is on prime, it will be running all the night, all the day. So that is unnecessary electricity, all those maintenance, everything will be there. You need to have a person to manage that. You want turn on, turn off, all those things. A person is required, right? A team is required at least. So when it comes to this cloud, so as Shekhar mentioned, it can be controlled anywhere, right? Pay and use. If you are using for 5 hours, you are going to pay for 5 hours. You are going to use 1 hour, you are going to pay for 1 hour. After that, you can turn it off. And immediately you got some new project. You need an infra for that. So you don't need to worry about procuring the physical devices, physical infrastructure, right? It takes time. You need to order, you need to get approvals, and then you have to place space, so many things, infrastructure, so many things will matter, cost and all, right? Upfront, you have to pay crores of rupees. But when it comes to this cloud, so instantly they can increase the services, right? They just want more RAM, they want no more processor, they want different operating system on their platforms. Everything can happen instantly. So that is what we can achieve with the help of cloud. Okay. And again, based on your pay, how much, whatever the you use, you are going to pay for it. Right. These are the upfront charges. You don't need to pay crores of rupees, right? It will be in a cents or $1, $2 per hour or something. Based on that, the charges will be. I'll talk about that pricing as well. Okay. And this cloud services will provide three different service models you can hear. So as IaaS and PaaS and ACSS, right? So these are the three services you generally hear nowadays, right? So most of you are aware SaaS, right? Software as a service. So generally this many cloud, like for example, Office 365, many I was hearing some few are already working on Active Directory and other services right here. So that is all SaaS, software as a service. You don't need to install anything on your laptop. So on the cloud, you are just going to use. Nowadays you no need to install your PowerPoint or Word or anything. So you will just have an Office 65 cloud. You just pay monthly subscription, or so you just need to log into that URL, and wherever any laptop you can use, right? Your hardware is not used on your physical laptop unnecessary. For example, if you take a physical system, right? For like 1 TB, 2 TB space, or 30 GB, 40 GB RAM and all will be there. So you will not be using 100%. So it is waste, right? You are just paying for that, but you are planning that it will be used in future, but unnecessarily you are paying currently, right? So instead of that, when you go to this cloud services, so whatever you are using, you are going to pay only for that. And you can anytime expand, or you want to shrink it, you can shrink the service anytime. So these are the possibilities we have on the cloud platforms. Okay. As I was mentioning about these three services, these are very common. Infrastructure as a service. It is like so you are buying a house without any infrastructure. Like it's an empty house you are buying. Okay, so that is how it is. Like you have to take the infrastructure, and then and then you need to like go for a SaaS, means everything is ready, fully furnished house kind of thing. So you just need to log in and use the services. That is a SaaS, software as service. You don't need to worry about anything, configuration, everything will be easy for that. Okay. So to maintain all these services nowadays, everything they have moved on the cloud. This is, as Shekhar also mentioned, it can be accessed remotely anywhere in the world, right? And any time zone. So many advantages, any operating system, it doesn't matter. You open a browser and just use the URL, it opens, right? That's it. It doesn't matter whether you're on Windows or Mac or Linux, any operating system, it seamlessly it works, right? That is an advantage. And in a one click, you can change the things. You don't need to wait for hours together or days together to get a physical activation of any hardware components. Here, just with a click and payment, it will be done instantly. So it will not affect your day-to-day business. Instantly, you can upscale your projects, upscale your server services. See, for example, Amazon, Flipkart, this kind of thing, guys will have a big billion day and all, right? They will anticipate billions of users will log in and do transactions during that peak time. So instantly they want to increase based on the users. Like randomly, the users will increase based on the offers, right? So instantly they want to have a infrastructure. It's very hard to procure and set up and test and other things, right? So here it is not like that. Instantly they can scale up the services. And security, it is taken care completely by the Azure. So they will take care of it. They you don't need to worry about your data safety and all. It is all those compliance will be maintained. So it is easy for us to maintain and easy to use also, user friendly. So infrastructure as service, okay. Discuss how the Azure provides virtual machines, network, storage, all this comes under the infrastructure as a service. And a platform as a service. So learn how Azure offers a ready-to-use platforms like built to deploy, manage applications, all those things are there, right? Those are all come under the platform as a service. And then software as a service, right? So experience the cloud-based application. Office 365 is the best example for SaaS. You don't need to do any setting, right? Just log in and just start using it, right? So all these are on cloud only nowadays. So any questions, guys? Okay, even Azure have a marketplace, like how we have a Play Store, App Store, and all for the apps, right? Similarly, they have their own marketplace where we can access those tools or softwares which we want to use on the marketplace, and we can start using them. Okay, so that is a great advantage we have. So we don't need to install. Basically, everything will be on a cloud. So instantly, it can start up and it can give you the services immediately. You don't need to wait for any things. Okay. And then Azure management tools are there, like Azure Portal, Azure CLI, and PowerShell. So Azure Portal will be like a dashboard kind of thing. Everything you can monitor, manage all your services. Like for example, developers will write the code. Where do they store? So they cannot store on their laptops or local laptops, right? It has to be pushed to the services. It can be a TFS or it can be a GitHub, right? It can be a Bitbucket. So these are different version controlling systems are there, right? So very popular is GitHub, which is also owned by Microsoft. Again, it can be integrated easily here, right? Where you can manage and monitor and control the access also to who will have right access, who can be given right read access, all those things, memories, all those things can be managed with this kind of portals and Azure. We have different portals and different services with them, so that using that we can easily manage. And it is very easy. A non-IT background people can easily pick up and start contributing to it. So very less line of code, or I can say no code kind of thing. And there's no very minimal scripting we need to know. That's it. Rest all or configurations kind of thing. So it is very easy to learn by anybody. Okay. Okay. And then now, basically, security, yeah, security will be a main concern, right? Any data you want to manage, the customer data, database, and all those things we'll be managing, right? So everything can be done easily, and it is very secured as the platform. They take care very strong security measures, and it is impossible to breach that and steal the data or manipulate the data. It is highly impossible. It is all access-based control, so it is impossible to access. And multi-factor authentication, so many things will be there. So without very particular access we can give to the particular section, so that it is impossible to manipulate the data. So that is the reason nowadays every company is moving towards the cloud services, because managing data, maintaining is very easy, right? Scaling up all those activities, safety, security, all those are very easy to manage on the cloud, especially Azure. And pricing, the main objective of, like, we have GCP, we have AWS. Why Azure? Because it is the price wise, and this is a very, very negligible, I can say zero downtime, right? So for example, if you're using internet, if your internet goes down for a minute, will you be able to resist? It is very hard, right? You instantly will start complaining, you will rise to or talk to the broadband provider or your service provider and reach out to them immediately and get the things fixed, right? So just for internet, you are going to have so much inconvenience. If you are meeting, so many things will affect. Same way, this services also should never go down, right? We are, because many hundreds and lakhs of customers will be dependent on these services. So that should work seamlessly all the time. So that is one more advantage. And then disaster management. For example, we got a tsunami, earthquake, so your servers got damaged, right? Your data is gone, your customers are affected. So in that case, it's a very hard. Now, when you are having this cloud as service, it will not make you any big difference, right? Instantly, you can migrate. You will have a disaster management maintained, and it will be in a different cloud location, so it will not affect your business. Anything, if anything goes wrong, right? So these are the major advantages we have in cloud, moving towards the cloud. So that is the reason everything is on cloud these days, right? So it's very, very, very rare now you hear about the local infrastructure on prime. Everything or most of things are moved towards the cloud services. And then this is a one, identity access management will be there, where we can give the role-based access, so that particular role people can only do certain things in the Azure areas, right? So different services we can use based on the requirement. And all are like pay and use, whatever services you're consuming, so only you have to pay. Company will not have a major financial burden to it. So startups, most of the startups are moving to almost all, I can say, are using this kind of services, because they don't need to have an upfront cost of the infrastructure. So instantly they can start the service and they can start consuming and serving the customers. Any questions, guys?
Certainly, absolutely.
Hello, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you're audible. You're
Yeah.
audible.
Yeah, thank you. So in this fundamentals, we are going to learn all these things. Okay, we'll have complete hands-on. Somebody was mentioning about that real-time project related and how do we manage all those things, right? Yeah, certainly will be trained on that. Okay, we will be having a live setup. Everything will be virtually. We are going to set up everything, and we will have a complete hands-on. Assignments will be given. I'll show you how you can have your own setup on your systems and how you can start using them with the trial accounts. Okay, so you can also start. It will be practical completely, and I'll provide you the notes as well, like soft copies, so that you can go through them and you can prepare and you can apply the things whatever we discuss here. So it will be very easy for you to relate and implement in your organizations, upcoming organization, or tracking the interviews. All real-time challenges we are going to discuss here. Okay, so interview related questions, how they ask about the things, how we have to answer them, what are the real-time challenges, all those things we'll be trying to mimic here on the same way. And I'm going to train you on all those aspects in resume making, interview preparations. So all those aspects will be taken care in this journey, guys. And in guys, as Afzal mentioned, in case you guys are planning to take up this certificates of different levels, that also we are going to give you a dump and other things. Support will be provided from our side. So easily you will be able to crack the interviews, exams, and you can get the certification also. So generally, certification you can keep as a second option. First, you can try without certification also. In some companies, they look for the certification. It's an added advantage. It is good to have, but yeah, without that also you can still get a job. That is not a problem. Okay. So any more doubts? Any more questions?
We will be discussing Azure AD as well in this course.
Yeah. AD also will be discussing. And DevOps will be there, Terraforms, all those things, solution. So all those things will be discussed. There are different sessions, and we'll have, definitely we'll be discussing that also.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. So, for example, if you're for example, you're going with access management and all, right? Oh, sorry, I will just share my screen. 1 second, guys. What happened? Yeah. Yeah, this is Azure admin. So this is a certificate code that is AZ101. Okay. This is related to admin. Sorry? Okay, so here we discuss on all this, understanding the basics and learning the Azure subscriptions and management groups, core Azure service products, all those things we are going to discuss here. And then Azure Active Directory, Azure AD user and group, Azure role-based control asset, right? So this we are going to cover. It's very important. And then Azure virtual machine overviews, VMs and all the things, virtual machines. And then creating and managing the virtual machine setup. Everything will be practical, kind of a lab kind of thing we'll set up and we'll do it. Okay, virtual machine abilities and scalability, how we can scale up the memories, or those things we are going to learn in this journey. And then storage related to things we are going to discuss, Azure storage, account overviews, and then blob storage, right? Azure blob storage, lifecycle management, different type of storages will be there, right? For example, if you take Facebook and all, you will never see a downtime, right? Millions of users will be using across the globe, around the clock. They follow this blob storage, so you'll never see the downtime, right? So we will discuss different type of storage, how it works. So how they scale the memories are the things we are going to learn in this journey.
Will you have a practical sessions on this storage as well, like everything?
Yeah, maximum will cover with the practical scenarios.
Okay.
And then and we'll see the different real-time scenarios, how the different product companies are using different type of techniques, right? So those things also we'll try to share with you also, that it will be easy to adopt whenever it's required for use in real times. Also, we'll discuss about networking related things, right? How this load balancer, what is this load balancer, application gateways, APIs, application programming interface, how they are used, how we integrate. So many things will come up. So those things we'll learn here, and virtual network peering and service chaining and Azure VP gateway and then express routes, all those things we are going to learn in this learning. So, right? Okay. And then monitoring and troubleshooting. So like this, we'll have a dashboards and other things. So how to use them. Okay. So monitoring any insight and health of performance, like we'll do a perform check and all, how they're every day, the infra, we can all automate that. So we, by setting up every day, it will run and check the infra, how, whether anything is downtime or anything, it'll be alerting us so that we can look into them and immediately we can take action required. Okay. So those things, how to monitor, and Azure advisors. And then this is a dashboard kind of thing. Okay. And Azure Service Health and Azure Monitor for virtual machines, all those things we are going to learn in this monitoring and troubleshooting journey. And security compliance, as usual, we discussed. So this also will be like how to take a backups, different type of backups will be there. Policies, Azure policies, security centers, and site recoveries, that is DRs, all those things will be discussed.
So are we going to discuss about Defender, Microsoft Defender?
We will discuss here.
Okay.
Okay. So like this, we'll have a different stages.
Hands-on experience on all this concept.
Yes, Sujit. Yeah, we'll be giving you the hands-on experience. It will be practical majority. So we will try to set up all on the virtual Azure environment. We'll have a trial accounts and we'll try to consume them in a right way.
So during the like class, we will have practical or after the
Yes.
class?
No.
Will stuck on.
No, it will be, see, like theory will be there as well as practically I'm going to show you. Then you can, the recording of the session you can, you will get after immediately after the class, and you can do it any time in your at your convenient. In case you are get stuck anywhere, so we will be there to help you also. It will be like an handheld training, so it will be easy, guys. Easily you can learn, and wherever you get errors or stuck anywhere, technically we are going to help you to come out of it, and it will be completely practical. So I'll be showing you from the zero, so that every session will be recorded for you. You can just go through that rehearsal practice. That's it.
Arvind, you are going to provide a lab where we can access and practice it.
Kind of, we will try to set up a virtual Azure setup only. Trial accounts will create, and we'll try to do that way.
Okay, you are going to provide account and password so that we can.
I will try my best. Otherwise, we can also create. I'll show you how we can do it. Okay, I'll show you. Amol, you have any question?
For any services in Azure, we need to pay or any else?
Sorry, Sopan.
We need to pay for services in Azure.
So few services, yeah, we services are like we can use it on trial, and few are paid. So for paid, yeah, we have some other arrangements. So I will show you that how to manage that.
Will you cover container tools?
Like Docker, yeah, Docker we are going to cover.
Docker and Kubernetes.
Yeah,
Yes.
we will be constructively using all the free resources available. Okay, we'll be smartly using all the free accounts available, and we'll help you out what approaches. There are multiple approaches where you will be able to practice different kinds of labs and everything. Okay, you will not miss out on anything in the free accounts itself. Okay.
In message, you mentioned that it's Azure and DevOps. Means how many tools of DevOps you are going to explain in this full session in this course?
Okay, so in Azure DevOps, we have multiple services basically. Okay, so we are going to learn using and implementing those services, all kind of services. There are many are there, but majority of services we are going to cover, which is regularly used and which is very useful for your as a job try and all. What are they required? Those things definitely we'll try with, and we're going to learn and implement with the real time.
And most it is open source. Then are you going to provide the some basic information of Linux background?
Basics, yeah, definitely we'll discuss the commands and setup. All those things we'll cover. Yeah. Okay, I'll be providing cheat sheets for every topic, so it will be easy for you to prepare for interviews and all. And also in real time, you have any challenge, you can easily reach out to that cheat sheet, so you can take help of it. So any questions?
Are there any limitations on the cloud? Okay, we have on-prem and the cloud now available. So are there any limitation which cannot do on the cloud that has to be done on the on-prem?
And no such limitations actually. So we can do everything and anything on cloud, even better than on-prem. And it is easy to do it as well. Managing, there's no disadvantage I can say on the cloud.
Okay.
What are the timings?
Timings, yeah. Most likely it will be 8 to 9 or 9 to 10 p.m. in the evening. So it can be decided based on the everyone's availability. So in case some people are working on weekdays, not possible to attend. So we can also think of having a weekend batch also. Both are possible, weekdays and weekend.
Morning sessions we don't have?
Sorry?
Morning sessions we don't have?
Morning, currently no. Hari.
Okay.
Because majority are asking for weekend, evening sessions. So that's it. Based on demand, we'll decide that, Hari.
Okay. So at present, it is like you're thinking to have 8 to 9 or 9 to 10, right?
Right, in the evening.
2 slots you're thinking of.
Thinking of, correct. And weekends, weekend time is can be decided, negotiated anytime. Even morning 10 to 11 to 10, 9, 11 to 12, something like that also we can plan.
Okay. So you're open to have weekend sessions as well.
Is well, right. Because certain people might have the evening office, right? They'll be working for support
Correct.
and also. So for them to accommodate, weekend I have thought. So if you, many people, if, for example, working on weekdays, it will hard to manage. So those people will manage to switch on to weekend.
Yeah. So actually, I'm looking for morning session because of my shift starts from 1 to 10:30.
That is
okay.
Yeah.
That is a challenge for me. That's why I was looking for morning session. Otherwise, we have to have it on weekend.
Yeah, weekend works, right? Weekend anytime we can have morning 10 to evening, anytime we can have a different time slots for that.
Okay. But you have to have some people, right? Like batch. It cannot.
We'll frame that. Yeah. People will be there.
Okay. I'll discuss with your team.
Yeah, sure. You can connect with my team. They'll help you on this. Okay. So any more questions, guys? And don't worry about your background or your coding knowledge. Nothing is required here. So we are going to start from the scratch. Okay, you just need to have an internet and laptop. That's it. Rest all the things will be providing you everything. It's all we are going to use majority of open source tools only. Okay, we don't need to have any licenses. If in case licenses, we'll go with the trial one. So we don't need to pay for any licenses basically. So we are going to use the things wisely and do the things better here. Okay.
Okay. So are we going to discuss about the role configurations as well? In my current organization, we are using PIM, Privileged Identity Management.
Right. PIM,
okay.
Yeah.
So it is not like that your organization use the PIM. So traditional way, like I'm not sure, like if we don't have a PIM, like what is the process, like what is the way that role can be configured? I'm not sure. I would like to know that.
No,
okay.
Sure. We'll discuss that part. Not an issue.
Okay. One more last question. Like, are we going to discuss about the MFA and conditional access as well? Okay,
right.
Great.
Multi-factor authentication. Yes.
Multi-factor authentication and conditional access.
Correct.
Right. That is very very important for the Azure.
Correct.
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
So if you have no questions, guys, I'll wind up here. Thank you for all of you to participate and spending some time.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Demo. Thank you so much. Have a great day, guys. Great evening. Afzal, over to you. Yeah. Okay, guys. Then thank you so much. My team will connect with you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too. Thank you.
Thank you.